Hello, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year indeed. Thank everyone for coming to the stream yesterday for the charity stream. I'm this much asleep still, so.
Me too. I just woke up from a nap.
You think I was out partying all night? I was just wide awake. But I ain't shook it off yet. So we'll see what happens. But thank everybody. We raised $2,300 for St. Jude's Hospital yesterday. So thank you very much for everyone who came out to the stream. Thank all the readers, Adrian and Lena and Autumn and Jen and Ona, for coming to the stream yesterday too and reading with us. So tomorrow at 8 a.m., I believe my time, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, I believe.
11 Eastern, 10 Central.
Yes, there will be Sacred Sounds of Coffee with Jody Roberts, Adrian from Red Lentil Healing, and Veronica. That'll be at 8 a.m. Pacific, 9 Mountain, 10 Central, 11 Eastern. So be sure to stop by, check them out. Thank you, me, myself, and I. And the donate button is still live on the New Year's stream. In case anybody wants to donate, you can do it there. Any other announcements?
No. Hey to Jody, I'll miss you tomorrow. I'm at the dentist.
Yes.
New year, new dental issues.
What else did I have? I had something else. I don't remember what it was. But if it'll come to me, it'll come to me. March the 3rd.
Becca's not with us tonight. She's not feeling well. She may be in the chat, so feel better, Becca.
Yes. March the 3rd, I think, is the first day of the tarot class. It's for beginners tarot. That would be the first day, I believe. It runs 6 weeks, and it's Friday and Saturday. It starts at 5 Pacific. Thank you, Hope. And I think that's it. That's all I had to say.
You've been taking a tarot class with Johnny, and you've been thinking about it. I hear they're wonderful.
I try. So we got all of our questions still from yesterday. If you left a question on the post, thank you very much. We still got a whole bunch from yesterday, naturally. We will start with, though,
getting the kittens off the table. Hang on. I got chaos, mayhem, and pandemonium over here playing with toys.
Oh, wait. I think I remember what it was.
Skewy boy. You big lug.
No, I did that already. What is their names? She says.
Bella, Roro, and Skewy. Becca Bellatrix, Johnny Fortescue, Aurora, Bayetha.
Or what is Becca called them? Pandemonium, chaos, and mayhem.
In mayhem.
Thank you, Pamela. Happy New Year once again to everybody. We made it. Okay. That's not what I wanted to start with. Well, we can go there. Why did Trump loan his children money instead of just gifting it to them? And did they actually pay him back?
They supposedly gave him interest on the loans, which he may have just been trying to hide a gift that they would have had to pay more taxes on. But was he trying to hide money, or did they really need the money? I guess is kind of my question.
Did they need it? Why did he give it to them?
Why did he give them?
Because, I mean, you think if you're a billionaire, I mean, mind you, I guess maybe not for some people, but if they're your children, you'll give it to them, right? I mean,
Pay the taxes on it, give it to him.
I mean, not him, of course, because
Well,
God forbid he's generous with anybody, but
they get a salary from him. And Weaselberg was making $500,000 or $600,000 a year from him, so I would bet the kids were getting paid more than that. Charging his children interest.
with a father like that, who needs enemies?
Yeah, lately when I read on him, I get both of my big change cards. The fortune's changing and change, and it's like he's just going through a lot right now.
He indeed is.
I think it was business related, like their salaries weren't enough. I think it was business related for the family, trying to act like they were in need or whatever. Their walls getting a little thin, and then something changing really fast. There's a betrayal here. So I think something was changing fast with the family money, and he had to do something fast with the family money. He had to move it. And also returning legal problems coming in, pushing Trump. So there's greed involved. So I think he's hiding money with them. He took this action to try to grow it as opposed to lose it.
Happy New Year, Jade. Thank you for the 30 months. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. And it's family money. Burdens around it, too. The Chariot, the 2 of Pentacles, there's something that he is trying to keep in balance around the family money. The Wheel of Fortune is there, too. The Judgment is there, too. Does this every year, or did this every year? There's just manipulation, funny money, that type of thing. I mean, he didn't really gift them anything, if you ask me, but it needs to be something to put on the taxes type
It's
thing.
like the NFTs.
They didn't get anything, because I don't get any indication of payback. I do get the liar card, though, but I don't get that they actually got anything. This is probably just something wrote down on the taxes.
But he supposedly wasn't going to take his presidential salary, but I think in 2020 at least he did. He was supposedly donating it to charity or whatever. 2020 he had no charitable donations.
Charity.
I don't need my presidential salary.
Thank you, Mara.
In 2020.
Thank you, Mara. How is his 2023 going? Just as an overcast overview, how is his 2023 going to go? This is everything is sort of built up to this moment, to where January 6th is done. Jack Smith is on the loose, apparently. Merrick Garland is on standby. There is the Letitia James. There is Fonnie Wilson. There is Jesus and Satan. Like, everybody's waiting to see what is going to happen next. His Pluto return and all these different things happening for the U.S. And so everything is sort of boiling to a point, it seems like. So this year is going to be crucial in whether people continue to believe in the justice system or not, too, also. So what is his, just the overview, what is his 2023 going to look like?
Yeah, I love to do readings like this for people in personal readings. When I do personal readings, tinlintarot.com if you want to book one. I'm almost booked up in January. You may have to go to February. Anyway, I always like to do, especially at the end of the year or beginning of the year, I like to see like how's the next year going to be. So let's check in. Trump, how's your 2023 going to be? You're going to be reaping what you sowed. Karma, baby. The theme of his year, the loser. He's gonna. There's things that are growing right now. Like there's a lot of options that they could take up legally with him, and he'll be fighting legal problems. We're gonna hear about more details. Which he's going to try to put a spin on, look at it this way, all this corruption coming out. I think we're going to continue to see Republicans ditching him, not accepting him in the government. And I get he's a loser, and be patient because all those gifts of money, that's the biggest thing. He's got a big change of fortune. So he's probably going to claim millions of dollars of losses this year. And he's stuck. He's trapped in everything. Maybe going away to a little padded cell somewhere. Making his license plates.
I would say, because you have the Sun and Three of Wands. So you could normally say like successful expansion, right? Except what's around it is not so nice. So there is some illumination is what's coming out. The Sun, since illumination is, now mind you, Suns doesn't really have negative aspects except illumination if you're trying to hide something. And so he has a lot of stuff that's going to be uncovered in 2023, and it's nearing too. This is not something we have to wait a long time. The Three of Wands is something is approaching, like you're nearing that completion. What's around it is the Moon and the Nine of Swords. The Moon tries to hide. It wants to hide something. It's using borrowed light, stolen light, in order to illuminate what's around it. So it's showing you what it wants to, not what's actually there. And so the Nine of Swords is stress and worry, anxiety. Anxiety is always about what's to come. I'm fearful of what's approaching me. Three of Wands. So there's a lot more that is going to be shown upon his situation. And then there's the Death card. So a lot of changes are coming because of that exposure. A lot of changes are coming because of the illumination. Now, we are getting looks into the taxes. We're getting looks into the Gen 6 testimonies and all of that type of stuff. But we still don't have everything. Like there's things, again, the DOJ doesn't try cases in public. So there's still some things that we don't know, oddly enough, or maybe some stuff that we know because we do this every week, but that we haven't tied a bow on it yet. So
I don't think with Trump, who's such a chronic criminal, that will ever have everything on him. Can we try to get a little timing around when we'll see the first federal indictment on him?
That's one of my questions, actually. Is there one nearing? Can we, like at all? Is there even
like first quarter,
close?
second quarter, third quarter?
Let's see. Are we nearing a federal indictment? If not, when?
At least on the stolen documents, because that seems to be the clearest cut case.
When?
I get there's one that's already complete that's going to come in fast. I also get that something new is going to come up that they're going to be investigating, asking questions about sometime in first quarter. Second quarter, I'm getting his world just gets rocked, just gets pummeled. Strong indictments coming in, judgment. But there's something that's coming in first quarter, so. They're going to get him lying under oath on something too, and all the depositions. Probably in the fall. He may be looking at jail time by fourth quarter. Anxiety.
First car was the tower, and then the 8 of Wands fell out too. Whatever it is, very fast.
Wait, I'm going to ask, is it going to be in January?
I think in the first 3 months, you're going to see something. That 3 of Wands from the last read, anticipation, whatever it is, it's very close. And I get the 5 of Pentacles, so I'm going to give it 5 months tops, but I'm going to say crystal ball moment, 3 months. And then again at 8 months, and who knows after that? But I think by March, April, you may see something in the news. Whatever it is, it's fast.
Yeah, I'm getting 2 to 3 here.
Now, mind you, I don't have the Knight of Swords, which means it's not out of someone's control. This is someone is behind it, just like someone behind the 8 of Wands motion, someone's behind the lightning and the tower. So there's something behind it. This ain't just fall out of the sky. This is planned.
I think it's going to be from Jack Smith too, putting the nail on the coffin. I'm getting all my 2 cards, so it's either 2 weeks or 2 months. I got the Knight of Swords charging in.
Can we see who would be first? Or what he would get an indictment on?
What's the first indictment on?
Jan's, what's falling out already? keep it.
Oh, the 8 of Wands just tried to fall out. Who's doing it first? Strength just tried to fall out. Somebody's got a real strong case with something.
Oh.
I think it'll be hiding documents. There will be one eventually for the insurrection. And also some on money, but I get they're like kind of transitioning from those right now. The first one I get will be for, that moon card, hiding documents, something tangible. Very strong case. Got all the support for it that they need. They've already got all the details I've got on the bottom. Little padded cell.
Yeah, I think so too. I get something in a group here, but it didn't tell me exactly what. But my Jack Smith card is in the environment. So whatever he was tasked to look at first, which I think is the documents, something he did in a group to take something or to lose something, 5 of Pentacles. If it's not in the group, it has something to do with money, but I'm going to, or not the documents had something to do with money, but I'm going to say it was the documents. Okay.
Get ready.
Speaking of money, just as a little peek behind the madness curtain, because maybe they don't even care, mind you. How does the MAGA feel that he paid more in taxes to China than he did to the U.S.? Do they care at all or not?
Because, Joe Biden's so corrupt with China. For entertainment purposes, only YouTube.
Do they even care? Okay.
I don't think they care because he lies about everything. I think they think he's just wealthy and that's what celebrities do, and that's his strength and power there. So they support it, so to speak. I don't think they care. I don't think they'll care until it comes up in the court systems and they start getting a different perspective when we return to the subject again of, if like have a forensic accountants go in there and figure out how much money he screwed the U.S. out of. Once he's looking at jail time, they might start to change.
I think they would care if it was reported to them by one of the people they watch all the time, like the Fox News and stuff, and they didn't skew it a different kind of way. If they just said it, On Fox News, Donald Trump paid more in taxes to China than he did to the U.S. than they would care. But it's not being reported to them. I don't think they really care. There's the star. This is just par for the course. Because what I'm getting here is not necessarily them. These are people who are more Republican leaning, but not Donald Trump camp necessarily. They voted for him because he was the Republican candidate, but they are also people who will vote for somebody else if something else comes along. So there is some sort of worry and some stress, some anxiety about it, but it is not from his core base, because it is about the taxes here with the Seven of Pentacles, my taxes card. But it's very small numbers. Page of Cups, it's not his core base. They don't really care because they figure that's kind of what he does. Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. This is greedy merchant. It's what he does. It's fine.
We read on this last night. It's like they were more upset about the NFTs than the fact that he paid more taxes to China.
NFTs. Okay, can we while we're here? Actually, you know what? Let's jump off the Trump trains. I told Jen I was looking through the headlines, and there were none on Donald Trump, finally. Only one was about his taxes, but there were no other headlines.
And it was down.
And I'm like, good. But I mean, mind you, it's not going to stay that way, I'm sure, but at least for one day. Good God. So can we go? We'll stay in the Trump sphere, just not on him. There are rumors that Jared and Ivanka are heading for divorce. Is there any truth to that whatsoever? Can we be nosy?
How's your relationship?
And okay, never mind. We'll do that next. Is there any truth?
I got the marriage card on the bottom. That's what we're asking about, the marriage. Marriage.
And it's interesting too. I still get sort of amazed that tarot cards work. It's like you do it for so long, but you still never really take it for granted.
Every now and then you pause and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe they always do that. 40 years I've been reading. Yep, there's a divorce coming. Anxiety over maybe being paupers. Now, why would you be paupers? You got $2 billion from the Saudis. Anxiety over being paupers, being questioned about it, your family money. Things are not balanced in that relationship. And then I get betrayal and heartache and going to court. Tempering Ivanka. Interesting. I get she's definitely probably the one putting it through, and there's my divorce card. Feeling stuck, feeling trapped, feeling confined.
I don't get it. Didn't answer me for divorce. I guess I didn't ask that either, did I? Like, what is going on within the relationship? But there's something that starts with illegalities with the Justice card and the Seven of Swords. So there's something between them that they're disagreeing upon. The Empress shows up too. Someone's mother and the Wheel of Fortune. Someone's mother and maybe assets or maybe the timing of something has come up between them two as well. And there may be a fracture within the relationship because of that. There's also something about contracts that have something to do with money. So maybe prenups or just contracts that have to do with money. There's a money issue between the two for whatever reason. Hangman and the Two of Wands. There's also some plans for one to do something and the other is trying to stop it. So there's a bunch of disagreement here. No, we're on the same page type thing. They say money, kids, and sex. That's what relationships break up for. And so there's something here about money with them too. And you'd think there wouldn't be, because when you're broke, what's to fight about? You're broke. When you got a bunch of money, what's to fight about? You got a bunch of money. But there's still something here where they're still fighting over finance, and something is illegal or something is causing way too much attention. Maybe it's the giant check that he got from Saudi Arabia. I don't know, but there's something illegal causing a lot of attention, and there's a lot of tension in the relationship because of it.
Well, there's supposedly investigations on his $2 billion he got from the Saudis.
Mm-hmm.
Can we ask what happened to that money? Because they do seem very concerned about being paupers. It's like, you got $2 billion. Why would you be concerned about?
Oh, there it is on the bottom. 4 wands for me. So we're still talking about it. Thank you, Pam.
What happened to the $2 billion?
Because, I mean, if you got $2 billion, then I don't know. I don't know.
It's like, why are you so worried about money when you got $2 billion?
And maybe this is, just somebody broke talking, because we do that a lot too when we look at celebrities and think, what are you complaining about? You should be happy. Because usually everything in our life is okay, except that. And they got the one thing we don't have, and then we got the everything else they don't have. So that's why they complain. If you give me $2 billion, I ain't gonna complain about nothing ever. Except maybe taxes.
There's a new investigation coming in on it. Well, part of it, I think, Ivanka has hidden, like, in trust funds for the kids, like giving money to the kids. Her kid, like Trump's dad set up a trust fund for him when he was 2 years old, made him a multimillionaire, by the time he was 2. But returning to this over and over again, there's some manipulations of the family money going on that they're trying to put a spin on it. Something really, really sneaky going on with it. And I think they're trying to hide it. So it's not like I didn't get working cards like they've got it working for them in a business or something.
There's some, and everybody knows about it now, but there's some sort of attempt to conceal. I get the 6 of Wands and the 8 of Swords. So there's a lot of attention, especially upon Jared, when it comes to this money. There is something here, though, that still binds him. And maybe it's not, his cards are dark. Maybe it's not something that is released unto him just yet, or that there's, in the word of warning is the Lover's card too. And so maybe she didn't get as much as she thought she was going to, or she doesn't have access to it or something. But there's something about it being held back, and that person at the center of attention is also causing too much attention upon the family. But there is something here about not being completely accessible to maybe both parties.
I mean,
but
it was supposed to be an investment in his company, wasn't it?
And here's something new, though. There in the environment, there's a new person or new something. There's a new person, new entity, new something that does have a share of this, and it ain't Ivanka, because she wouldn't be a new person. That's his wife, right? There's also something about it being in multiple places at the same time or something like the Knight of Swords, like I said, is that out of control, but this is something very fast. And the Page of Cups is a surprise. So it's like something, it flew out of the door. Like soon as it came in, it went somewhere else. And I think she's also upset about that too. But as far as some people know, it's gone. Now it's not, but this is the feeling some may have because it's not trackable. So there's secrets around it in that relationship. She doesn't know where it all is. He does, but she don't. It ain't her money. Money, money, money. I mean, at that point too, if you're Ivanka Trump and you got all these businesses and all this money, do you really care? I mean, I guess you should. I mean, your husband suddenly came into $2 billion and then, you know, you woke up and like, where is it?
Enough is never enough. Yeah, it was thank you, CC, funneled into his private equity firm. Same thing with Steve Mnuchin.
It's like, I don't know. It's just, okay. Someone asked in the community post, do Trump's kids resent him for all the trouble that they are facing? So let's see. They're grown people, so they can make their own decisions, but he did drag them into the family business.
You know, when Barbara Walters passed, they were replaying an interview she did of Trump back in the 80s. 80s or early, it might have been early 90s, but he was talking about like he hadn't seen Don Jr. in like 3 months. You know, he left him with Ivanka to raise. He was not involved in their lives. That's why they're so starved for daddy's attention.
Wake me when they're grown. That way I can put them to work type thing. Because she said, Ivana said he was not the get on the floor and play with the trucks with the boys or throw the ball around or none of that. He wasn't that person. Which, I mean, no one's surprised. His father was not that way with him. So he didn't really have that example, I suppose. But you don't, I mean, but to be fair, you don't really need that example. When your child comes into the world, something is supposed to turn and say, oh, I want to spend time with my namesake at least. But, oh well. It's like, no, let me spend time with my daughter because oddly enough, I find her attractive and disgusting. I can't with him. I'll go spend time with Giuliani's son. He looks just like you.
You know, there is a separation there with them, and I get, especially with Ivanka, that something has changed about working with them since all these legal problems started. You know, and he was trying to manipulate the kids more. But at the same time, he's a steady source of income for them that they fight over. So they look at him as money. They don't look at him with, I don't have cups. They don't look at him with love. They don't look at him, you know, but they're with all these investigations and criminal charges getting ready to come in, things are starting to change behind the scenes. You know, they may be getting more and more anxious. He lies to them all the time. I think eventually when they're put in defense mode, I think eventually they're going to have some regrets and they're going to start to see his thieving differently. But right now they're stuck with him because money, not cups, money.
I got a cup.
Did you?
8 of cups.
I was going to say, well, I got 1 cup. It was I had the page, the surprise one.
They can't wait to
And
just.
the 5 regrets.
They can't just wait to just be done with them. I think, just like you said, this is what they see on Page of Pentacles. And the Emperor, that's the paycheck. That's some sort of documents that's worth money itself. So Emperor, Father, Page of Pentacles, check. They're stuck though. Word of warning, 8 of Swords. So, but there is some resentment there. The 10 of Swords and the Lovers. There is absolutely no kinship whatsoever there. They don't really have a relationship either. They're not of like mind. They're of like criminal mind, maybe, but
of like greed.
yeah. But that's about it. 4 of Pentacles. That's kind of what they're just. They're just clinging to the money. I mean, that's the family, though. That's all of them. I don't even know if the boy and boy 1, boy 2 even like girl 1 and girl 2. They could just be related, not necessarily family. What is? Oh wait, let me show you all. They're called Sirius Tarot. Sirius Tarot. I think. Yes, that's the back. It's on Etsy. Let me see. Okay, let's go completely off the rail. I got a picture I'm supposed to look at. I wrote to myself "see pic," so let me see pic. What does that mean? Who is this? Oh, Larry Keefe, Keefe. He is a top aide to Ron DeSantis, who had an email address with the alias Clarice Starling from Hannibal Lecter, to help a former client win a state contract so that he could fly the migrants all around the country on their little tour that he took them on. He was the public safety czar under Ron DeSantis, and he wrote some of the language that was in the Vertol Systems company. That's the company that flew them. And he wrote the language in the contract to ensure that that company got the contract to send the migrants. But when he was in private practice, he actually represented that company. So he has a personal stake in that company.
Making money off of shipping migrants.
Yeah, and public money at that. And so I want to know if he is in any trouble whatsoever, or is this something that Ron will shield him from, and then this is just an old story?
Taxpayer money used to pad his pocket. God, they can all find different ways to grift.
I mean, Larry Keefe, I guess.
I'm not smart enough to be that devious. You know? My brain just can't function that way criminally.
It's like, it takes too much. It's just, I don't know.
The risk of getting caught. It's like,
yes,
I wouldn't sit there and plot it out.
I mean, and I get when some people have never been to jail, me being one of them, that maybe you don't fear it because you don't know what that's like, so therefore you go create all of these little plots and schemes and break all these laws, and you think nothing of jail. But I would think just the fact of jail, just the word itself, not mean prison, just jail. And then they put you in prison. Oh, good Lord. Like this. Then your life is scarred because now you have a felony and all this other type of thing. I don't know. That's too much for me.
Is there a whistleblower on this that's releasing all this?
I don't know.
Because I'm getting a whistleblower involved with.
Right now, it's just investigative journalism, I guess. But somebody had to say something to somebody, I guess.
Yeah, about the documents and stuff. Yeah, he's going to get indicted eventually over the money. This isn't finished, and I think it's going to taken by surprise when it does happen. They're taking in a lot of information, gaining wisdom on it, strength here. We will continue to hear about this. I do get he'll be put in defense mode, by the court systems, but I get there's a whistleblower that's trapped in this somehow. So maybe covering their own butt because they know it's going to come out. Everybody he's worked with, everybody that supported this, their fortunes are changing there. So investigators looking at all the options, and then the tower and an indictment coming through. Thank you, Beatrice.
Thank you, Beatrice.
But I get there's like 3 of them. I'm getting all my 3 cards. There's like 3 people involved.
See, and here's when I read the story. This is the first thing that popped in my mind. So I may have influenced the cards here. So hashtag grain of salt. But I think this is going to be like Bridgegate and Chris Christie, to where everybody else goes down and Chris Christie was fine. Everybody else goes down. Ron DeSantis skates away. The 6 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. This is going to draw a lot of attention. There is something to where there's going to be a lot of flux where you're trying to keep something balanced, keep something in the air, and it is attention. This is going to draw some national attention, at least for a short period of time. With the Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Wands, there's something approaching him fast too. The changes, though, are in the word of warning, and the Fool is in the word of solace. So there's something new that is not going to hit very well. It is something you're going to have to deal with, the 4 of Cups, and I don't think DeSantis is going to help you. He may offer you some sort of advice, but you have now all the DeSantis friends need lawyers. So it's like following after his predecessor. The 10 of Cups in the Empress. There's more people with this too, and that is also going to start something new. Page of Cups is in the end. Surprise to you anyway, because maybe you thought this wasn't such a big deal. And that somehow or another, I think he feels as though he would be okay in this, and that somebody wouldn't look into it this deep or uncover all these different things, because in his mind, maybe he's not doing anything illegal. And so, but there's somebody's going to find and poke a hole in this somehow, some way, because there's other people, like I said, going down, but no DeSantis. But we'll see.
Doesn't Texas and Florida get federal money to help with immigrants?
I believe so.
I mean, they get, I think, federal grants to help, bring the immigrants in, and then, get them on their feet, so to speak. So shipping them somewhere else when you've taken federal money is a big deal.
DeBoer Johnson says yes. Because I know you have your borders and your immigration problem, so I would think so.
Yeah. My butt's sore from sitting for 4 hours last night.
This chair's had it. I actually ordered one, but it goes like all the way back to where I'm almost on the floor now.
If Johnny disappears when he's
if I fall, then the chair said, "Okay, I'm done with you too." So okay, let's do this one. Oh, Jesus.
$700 per day per person. $700 per person.
And then you take them and ship everybody else somewhere else.
Ship them somewhere else when you've taken that. So it's not like it's on your taxpayers. Granted, it comes out of federal income taxes that we pay, but it's not on your Florida taxpayers to cover that. You get federal money to help.
The race chair broke too.
Do we have a question?
Yes. I didn't ask it yet, though. But
I was going to say, you're shuffling like you asked a question. And I missed
it. It's like, wait a minute, I missed it. Yeah, card flip, I thought. Arkansas. How will it fare? And to be neutral, we want a positive read here. How will Arkansas fare under Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Like I said, we wanted we want Arkansas to be okay. So we want a positive read, but again, you do have a Republican administration in a southern state, and so that usually doesn't go very well. But she has brought in one of Ron DeSantis, somebody who used to work in his administration. She brought that person in to hold office. I think it's in the educational department. And so this person was one of the people who helped draft the Don't Say Gay and all that type of stuff.
And screwing up schools.
So
Yeah,
she's borrowing some idiots from neighboring states.
I quit calling her Huckabee. I started calling her with an F.
Huckabee with an F, like Tucker with an F.
Uh-huh.
But how will it fare under Sarah Huckabee, Colonel Sanders? Huck and Buck herself. Like I said, we don't necessarily want a bad read because I know some people in Arkansas, so it's, I don't ever want a bad read. You just give me the info.
Well, she's going to be corrupt. Yeah, the nostalgia card, she'll probably mess around with the kids in the school, but I get she'll fight everything Biden tries to do. That's what she returns to. So, when he gave money for infrastructure and stuff, she'll fight that, and she'll be very, very disruptive. People that she gives contracts to, like, she'll see it a little differently. People are going to be marginalized and burdened, so I don't think people in general in Arkansas are going to do that well. But there's something about contracts, that the details in the contracts, that she's going to try to hide because there's corruption involved. There's going to be a lot of cover-up. So look at who gets awarded contracts there. There's payoffs and corruption.
So I heard this, I didn't see it, so hashtag grain of salt. There's something going to go down in this year with water somewhere in Arkansas that she is going to resist aid from, or federal aid or something. Like something is wrong with money being received, and it could be a source of corruption as well. Maybe some money that's received because of damage in water mains, or I don't know, something with water.
Flooding on the Mississippi or something.
It goes awry, and it's like you got federal aid for it, or you got some sort of aid for it, and all the aid didn't go to the places it's supposed to. It went to maybe sweetheart deals and that type of thing, or it could have even gone to some of the people who helped cause the problem. And so if there's like a leak in the water, then that company should be responsible. And so they shouldn't be getting aid from the federal government to fix this. So it's like something like that, to where there's some sort of misappropriation of funds. But for the read, I got the Sun and the Four of Cups. There is some, at least a success in her mind when it comes to children in the schools and things of that nature. There's some sort of agenda with the Page of Swords right next to it that she is trying to push forth. That is successful for her and for her voters. So since they seem to be in the majority here, there will be some success around that and defending against wokeism. And so they will be, because I get the Six of Swords, that progression card. So there's some sort of defending against wokeism. They will be successful in doing that. The Four of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, the money does slow down. So I don't know if Arkansas has a surplus now, but when she leaves office, I don't know. Because your word of warning is the Nine of Pentacles. So There may be something personal finance wise too that you may have to watch if you live in Arkansas, because I don't know if you have state taxes or if there's some sort of tax that's going to be added or some sort of tax that's going to be changed that takes more out of your personal finance. And of course, it trickles up instead of down. So that's probably where it goes. There is, go ahead.
Their biggest employer in Arkansas is Walmart. Their home office is based out of Arkansas.
That's right. The Two of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. There's just some negative news coming when it comes to financial planning, also infrastructure. Two, I don't know if they have a infrastructure bill in place or some sort of infrastructure plan, but there's a lot of delays upon it. A lot of delays upon getting the work actually done. And this may also be another source of misappropriations because you're going to give it to the people instead of the people who could do the job the fastest or the best. It ends in the Hierophant and the Four of Swords. This will be an administration that gets some things done, but you have to be a core supporter of Sarah Huckabee Sanders in order to see it as a good thing. So she'll get some stuff done. It's just going to be Republican stuff. So there you go. But watch your personal finance if you live there, and be careful of the water. There's snakes in there right here. So that's her. Bless her heart. Okay. Jason Schofield. SCHOFIELD. Schofield or Sheffield, however you want to say that. He was a county election in charge of the county elections person. And in New York, in I don't know how to say that name, Rensselaer County. I don't know. But he has pled guilty to election fraud because he took some of the ballots, the absentee ballots, and filled them out himself and all that type of stuff. So he has pled guilty to election fraud. Now, mind you, this is not an appointed position, so he got elected. This was his second term. So he has been there before, and I'm pretty sure this is not a new thing to him. But what I want to know, since he has now pled guilty, will this lead to other people being caught and arrested? Because I'm pretty sure he was not by himself. So if he's pleading guilty, he's going to also possibly cop a plea. And so will his guilty plea lead to someone else's arrest?
Yeah, because you filling out a handful of ballots isn't going to shift an election that much. You need thousands.
It's just like 8 or something.
Yeah, you need thousands of votes to shift an election.
Rensselaer. Okay, thank you. And do all that and get caught and what is the point? It's just I can't.
And there's my little vote card, holding it in his greedy little hands.
Yeah, I like that background. I took that picture when I was in Pittsburgh. It's Mammoth clouds, I believe is what they're called. They look really interesting. They look like cartoons when you see them in person because they're cloud formations that attach themselves to the bottom of other clouds, and so they look like little cartoons when you look at it.
Yes. Yes. The because this has been going on a while, because they knew like there were elections they were losing, right? So anytime, so he was sharing this with someone. Sharing implies more than one. He's going to try to stay as quiet as he had, but there's strength in the number of bullies here. So if he is pushed, he will whistleblow on the others that supported him in this, and that will change everything. He will talk, he will talk, he will talk. There's a whole bunch of them that messed around with these votes, and I get all Republicans that are going to be trapped in this, that we're doing this in secret and all just greed. There's a whole group.
I have a card and I don't know what it is.
They got to push him to get him to talk.
I have two cards and I don't know what it is. Stop changing the name of your cards. That's why I don't know what it is. Well, anyway, I got the Sun and the Four of Swords, so that's a yes. There's 100% yes. His sentence will be shortened. The Four of Swords tends to pop up for me when it's when you're arrested, but you're not held to the full extent of the law type of thing, because I got it from Manafort, and it's like you are arrested, but you get to rest somewhere else, almost like house arrest or something of that nature. So there's that, but yeah, big time talk. And the reason I don't know what the name of this, because it's not a real card. It's one of those extras they put in the deck. But it says creativity, new ideas, going beyond everyday's world, visualization, internal resourcefulness. So yes, he is going to pull from his internal resourcefulness and do some talking. So he has some knowledge that they want to know. Page of Wands is also here. King of Wands, my investigator. So yes, he will be doing some talking and telling who else was within there with him, doing the things that he did.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Who is that? Is that ACDC or I forget?
I just who wants to go to jail that bad? Like, why?
Why is it so important to you to commit election fraud?
And he still lost. So I mean, you went to jail for nothing.
You're going to jail for nothing, just because you're an idiot. ACDC. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Glad we got some metalheads in the group.
David DePop, or DePape, however you say his name, the guy who attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband. He is pleading not guilty. And so I want to know, how's that going to go for him?
The cops saw you hit him with a hammer, but you're going to plead not guilty for standing in someone else's home that you weren't invited in and hitting them with a hammer.
Okay. Not guilty.
What are you doing? You got the claws stuck. What's his name again?
David DePape, D-A-P-A-P-E. DePape. I didn't see the little David accent, but
okay, give me my arm. I gotta spread cards.
He said that he was on a suicide mission. So what I think
suicide would be hitting yourself with the hammer, not somebody else.
Because he targeted Tom Hanks and Gavin Newsom as well, he said. So I'm thinking he's trying to get the insanity thing going. So I think. Yeah, he is Canadian nationalist, I believe. So I think he might have. I'm pretty sure y'all don't.
Well, justice and judgment are going to be pretty swift on him. I think he's going to get a pretty big sentence handed down to him. Were there people he collaborated with on this, or had they found?
It hasn't come out yet.
I think there's somebody like he might have been paid to do this too. But
I mean, he had the conversation with Marjorie Taylor Greene and all that stuff.
Okay.
When she spoke to him before he did that.
Because this is the Trump Republican legacy thing going on here. And he's going to jail like long time. Now, it's interesting you said Marjorie Taylor Greene because I've got her here and the star card. Like, she might start getting a little attention on this. There might be something tangible that ties her in with it.
There is how's it going to go for him? It's not going to go well. They are trying to work on some sort of defense because I see the 7 of Wands and the Fool card here too. So they are trying to work on that defense, maybe to say that he was nuts, he was crazy, or something of that nature. But there's some secrets, some plans, possibly, because this is a word of warning as the High Priestess. So there's more than likely something else that's going to be uncovered. You got the 5 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Your defense is not going to be accepted. It's more than likely just going to be rejected, and then you'll feel, of course, regret, sorrow, loss. But yeah, this not going to work, buddy.
And MTG will talk about how the prisoner's being treated.
Because now, I mean, you got someone that now has a personal agenda against you now. I'm pretty sure that Nancy Pelosi is going to do whatever she has to make sure you're in jail for the next 99 million years. So,
lucky girl, MTG usually shows up for me as the Queen of Cups because she's got the fake blonde hair. And it's, the emotional queen.
So there's another one off the beaten path we stay. Richard Patton. Richard Patton, a man accused of tampering with the voting machine during Colorado's primary election. He went in. So the story is Richard Patton is his name, Patton. He went in like he was a person who's never voted before. So he went in, he talked to the people who were doing the volunteer work, and they took him back and showed him how to use the machine. So he went back there, and when he left, the worker noticed that the machine was tampered with, like somebody had put a USB drive in it, and they reported it. And then so he gets, arrested. His lawyers say that the man accused of tampering with the election machine is mentally incompetent, and he cannot continue the court proceedings. And that's what a judge ruled on Thursday. And so at the request of his lawyers, the prosecution and the prosecutors, Judge William Alexander also ordered that he undergo an outpatient mental health treatment in the hopes of making him well enough so that he can proceed. So what I want to know is,
be smart enough to put in a USB port.
Now here's wait a minute. Here's another little kicker in the story. What he said as far as his defense for mental incompetence, mind you, not necessarily crazy, just mentally incompetent. He says this is demonstrably false because I'm a jock. He's a jock. He said, I'm basic. I like to weight lift. I don't know anything about coding. I don't intend to because, frankly, it seems pretty boring. Now, Demonstrably is one hell of a word, let me tell you.
For a jock.
Not that people who are mentally incompetent can't learn big words, but it's like your verisimilitude, if I can, your way of speaking seems to be like you're throwing up a defense that you hope might work.
And you're getting out complete sentences. And
he says this is demonstrably false because I'm a jock. I like to weight lift. I don't know anything about coding because it's boring. So he didn't hack the machine because he don't know nothing about that.
I mean, Monostat Green is a jock, but he likes to weight lift too. But
so yes, the jock defense. So what I want to know is, will he be deemed mentally competent enough for his case to proceed? Because as of right now, that's his only defense.
Just got your hand caught in the cookie jar. Admit it.
Thank you, Caroline. Richard Patton. I don't know how to code either, but I do know how to put a USB drive in something. So let somebody else do the coding part and you do the insertion part. Why is that so hard to believe? But the judge said, send him to the outpatient and see if he's well enough to proceed. If that's going to be your defense, then that's the only one you got.
Yeah, you might want to change that defense there because you are about to lose. They are not going to accept that defense. Investigators or doctors or anybody looking into this, he's going to be making license plates. He's going to be making lots of license plates.
Okay, I get the Four of Pentacles and the Temperance and the Moon. So here would be your attempt at insanity in your insanity plea. I do not get the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords would indicate to me somebody does actually need some therapy or some mental health evaluation. What I get is the Temperance. Temperance is healing of the mind, soul, the spirit, that type of thing. So there is going to be an assessment that he's fine. He can proceed with the case. The Three of Cups and the Death card, there's actually, I don't know if it's 3 people that are assessing this all together, like a little panel or something of that nature, but they're in agreement that there is no need to give him the insanity out. He can go through with the case. Not necessarily that he'll be guilty and all that, but he can go through with the case.
It's really hard to read when you got this lollygagging cat taking up half your table. Roro. Hanging onto my arm, purring, looking all sweet.
Okay. Let's see. Quick question though: will Manchin change parties? Because he said he has no intent to do that as of now. Which means that's different than saying no.
As of now doesn't mean never.
Will he change parties? I mean, if he changed parties, he'd be a Democrat. So will he change his status from that to Republican? I guess is how I'll ask it.
I think not. And I don't know why I keep getting my COVID card on the bottom. I think not, because he wants to be in the party that he can kind of control. So, if he feels like he's got the power to shift things around in the government his way, I do have, the change card crowding the reading, but he wants to balance off anything that's on Biden's agenda. So, an image only, on the surface, a Democrat, but if he can like kill things and shift things around and do sneaky stuff and crap, he's going to stay as a Democrat just to mess things up.
Mm-hmm. Will he change parties? I get, because this is where he can do what he wants to do. He has a better chance at winning as a Dem than he does as an independent, apparently. So what I want to know now, because I get no in the end, 9 swords. What is his political future?
Little munchkin head. Just laying on my hand. Bouncing her head up and down, shuffling cards, and she's just laying there with her little munchkin face.
What is his political future?
He's secure because he's got a lot of money behind him. He's going to be hanging on for a while.
Thank you, Plucky.
I don't think he's going anywhere. They like his image, so to speak.
Thank you, Cold Toes. Happy New Year to you too. The Queen of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. There is some security there. There might be a woman too that makes a really big play for his position. A very, very strong showing too. Because I get the Judgment and the Devil and the Page of Swords, so he's still got a lot of underhanded tactics and stuff that he's going to repeat here with the Judgment card. But there is a woman here that is going to play for his position. The 4 Swords and the 5 of Cups to try to retire him, basically. His political future, like I said, she is right at the forefront. I don't know when he's up for re-election, maybe 6 years or whatever it is, but he needs to pay attention to this woman, because she makes a lot of waves and a lot of sense too. The 6 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. He's still there. Nostalgia is strong. Unfortunately, he's still there. Thank you, Edie. He is still there. Yeah. I'm trying to find, like, no, he's still there. Now, mind you, again, energy shifts and change. Don't disregard everything I'm about to say, because this is just me nitpicking now. But when this woman here comes into the picture, pay attention. And if you are in his state, help her, do whatever it is. Now she's got serious people behind her though with this 10 of Pentacles. There's like a legacy to it too. So I don't know if she has a name already, not necessarily in politics, but just in general. So pay attention to when she comes up, because she's not going to easily go away, and he's not a shoe-in when she pops up. So look for that. Good Lord, mansion. Anyway. Oh Lord, Stephen Miller.
Oh God.
Who knew about Jan 6? At least according to testimonies.
Yeah, in on the planning and stuff.
What I want to know is there going to be any kind of anything legal coming his way because of Jan 6? Any kind of charge, indictment, repercussion, slap on the hand, at least anything.
Fine. Anything.
Because we haven't heard it, but that doesn't mean it's not there.
Get this Stephen Miller energy on you, sweetie. It's nasty.
Thank you, Mrs. Couture. Well, happy New Year to you too. Okay.
He's going to get questioned a lot. I can't get if he's going to get indicted because he's like supporting the whole rally thing. And I get like he helped block defense or law enforcement, from coming in, working with whoever was in charge of that. So there's something that he's involved in that they're going to be talking to him about. I do get an investigation coming in that will make him anxious. He had connections in the government, so like House members or what's his face, Meadows or somebody. So he's going to get a lot of attention on this, but until I get there's a lot of details about also the fake electors. Changing the votes, changing the electoral votes. That could be what gets him in a heap load of trouble. Now, I don't get an indictment, but it's a tower moment for him, so it could lead to additional questioning and what he was doing. I'm gonna will he see the inside of a jail cell over January?
That's what I get to. Is there's a lot of tension, but not a lot of charges. I don't see. There's definitely the scheme is there. For sure, that's one of the first cards I picked. But there's something about trying to get the information secured for a charge or an indictment is what's eluding them. Whereas being elusive with the 7 of Cups is like there's smoke, but you don't know where the fire is.
Yeah,
and so it's really hard to pin down a case. You got a bunch of circumstantial stuff, but to pin down the case is hard.
To have enough testimony, like either they got to flip somebody to get more info, because I feel like there's nothing like in writing, in text messages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get a lot of attention, but I can't get like he'll see the inside of a jail. Again, connections to people in the government that he may just
Check his basement. There's something in there, I bet you. So, from one creature to another, why did Elon Musk give the Ukraine Starlink? What was the purpose?
they begged him to help with their internet when it fell because of Russia to get them access to Starlink. So he did it. But now everything he says is kind of pro Putin. So why did he give them internet service?
Was it really to help?
To help, to hurt, to spy, to what?
Why, oh why?
And he's talking about, I can't give it to him for forever. It's like, yeah, you can. If you're a supposed billionaire, you can give it to him for.
Surprised you didn't try to get aid for it or something. Thank you, Kay. Happy New Year to you, too. Because that seems to be what, I would have figured he'd done is say, okay, all this aid money you're sending to Ukraine, give Starlink some of that, and then I'll see they have internet forever and ever and ever. Why did you do it?
Illumination on imaging. That's what I'm getting. There is a corrupt reason that he's holding very close to his chest, looking at things from a different perception. Imaging exposure, maps, imaging where, whatever. Here's where this is, here's where that is. Imaging from a higher viewpoint. He's in bed with some other military leader, which could be Putin.
I get that there was initial support with the Queen of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. This was meant to be for a very short time, so maybe he just wanted to look like he was helping. This was maybe supposed to be just one of those things where I sent it up once and the world said, yay, Elon, and then that was it. But there was some sort of contract or something of that nature he wanted from a government with the Page of Pentacles. So this is money and some sort of government here. The Ten of Swords, Nine of Wands, Nine of Swords. There was also some sort of worry once he became pressured. He became pressured by somebody into doing nefarious things. So there's some sort of pressure and worry. Word of warning is the Tower. So there was a bring it down or else type thing, or I will bring it down or something of destruction of it. So I don't know if he was targeted himself, but he basically wanted to be subsidized, I think, and then got pressured to do other things.
I'm just asking if he's working with Putin or any of his oligarchs, and I get sharing information with them. Working at somebody else's bidding to secure things for them. I don't trust him. Can you tell?
He has, rumor has it, rumor has it that he has fired the janitorial staff and told the employees that they have to bring their own toilet paper.
Clean up their own bathrooms.
Yes. What I want to know, yes, Jose, he made history. He is the first person ever to lose $200 billion
In a year.
Oh, Lord. So what I want to know is, does he realize, because he could be flaming narcissist too, does he realize that he is the problem right now with Twitter? Or is he going to continue?
It's everybody else. It's everybody else. I'm going to punish all the little people. He doesn't care about his employees at all. Makes it very motivational to work for you, Elon. Not.
And he's being sued by who is some company because he didn't pay the rent on the building that Twitter uses there in San Fran. $134,000 or something like that. The building with no janitors now.
Okay, apparently the cats think I can see through them. Skewy.
Does he realize he gets the full card? Lord Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, I love talking about the Queen of Wands. She's the only queen straight on open. All the other queens are in profile or slight profile. So I call her the open and honest queen. She's the approachable one, the open and honest queen. That's who he thinks he is. He thinks he's open and honest. He thinks everybody else is backstabbing him and trying to set him up and trap him and stuff. And he's just trying to, make as much money as he can. Does he think it's him? No. He's going to crash and burn on the dollars.
The Fool card.
Tarot lesson tonight.
The Fool card is not a bad card necessarily. It's the beginning. It's the new adventures. This is, timing wise, it's not something that's overnight because he has to go through the whole journey. So this is a long time. This is the beginning. If you're going to write a book with 483 pages, this is page 1. So you're at the beginning, that type of thing. Now, the bad part about the Fool is its foolish nature. The little dog's trying to keep him from going off the cliff. That's the sensibility part, the more tamed part of life instead of the free thinker and the blow with the wind. The reason why he gets it and Trump gets it and people like that is because they do things that they think will work out with no plan behind them. And so that's what the Fool is. And so I'm going to buy Twitter. Okay. Did you do any logistics, whatever? Did you say, I need this for insurance? I need this for the payment of my employees. I have a building that I have to run. I have.
You know nothing about the social media and what legalities there are involved in it.
At all. It's like you bought the company and then start firing people who were essential to run the company. Thank you, me, myself, and I, for 31 months. So it's like this is the Fool. That's what he does. He just, on a whim, I'm going to buy Greenland. And that's the stuff you do. But it starts with the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. Does he realize it? No. Why? Because there's a parade in his honor. People lifted him up, called him a genius. Oh my God, you're Tony Starks and all that type of stuff. And so he believes I'm good. There's the parade. I'm fine. And it could have just been 5 people, but at enough to lead a person that already thinks high of themselves even higher. The Page of Swords, the Knight of Cups, no, still does not realize that Knight of Cups is the image. That's the what I call the false knight because he doesn't do anything. He just talks. But he is the person who can sell the cup of water to the drowning man type thing. So there is something, there is power in the Knight of Cups. It's just not an action card. But no, he does not see it that way. The schemes and the lies and whatever, whoever's behind him tells him otherwise. He's not the problem. It's everybody else. You just don't understand. You don't understand my vision, dude.
$200 billion. You could have given $1 million to every employee and
I mean,
had loyalty out the wazoo.
there's 300 million people in the U.S. You could have given everybody $1 million.
In the U.S. Everybody in the U.S.
Good God in heaven. Okay. Well, speaking of the U.S., is the January 6th information going to be helpful to Jack Smith? Now, the reason I ask, because you would think, yes, it would, but the reason I ask is right now, all we see is a bunch of testimony. Testimony is still testimony. It's not proof of anything. But they, in the DOJ, wanted the information that January 6th collected. That way they didn't have to start over when Jack Smith came in.
There's testimony, which, because he's got 3 different grand juries going, he could bring people in to testify there also. But there's also written documents like tweets and everything, like all of Mark Meadows' tweets and stuff. Mm-hmm. So there is some tangible stuff. Jenny Thomas's, all her tweets.
So will it be helpful? Like I said, I'm sure it will, but I want to see. Because the Jan 6 says they didn't want any leaks, so they were holding something. And DOJ was like, "What? You know, we're kind of stuck without a lot of what you had." So now that they have it,
you know, talking about January 6th, and there's my January 6th card. Kara's wonderful.
Oh, got a reversal that time.
Yes, he will find it helpful. I get in particular 2 women's testimonies, and I get a Cassidy Hutchinson vibe off of this. Like, it highlights some of the sneakiness that was going on, and how the Queen of Pentacles in particular, was manipulated. So that's why I get a Cassidy Hutchinson by like lawyers and people that worked on her for a long time. But yes, they'll find it very helpful. They will also find it helpful on Republicans involved behind the scenes in the House.
The World and the 9 of Cups, yes, big time. There's also a lot of connection that he can connect the dots, possibly on a worldwide level too. So there are other people that's not that he's necessarily in charge of investigating or prosecuting anybody else other than what he was tasked to do, but he may have that kind of range. The 10 of Cups, the 4 of Cups, the High Priestess, yes, there's a lot, especially, and I believe, just off these cards anyway, there's a lot of holes in what the DOJ had, like little remnants of, that are being plugged up by that information. So there's a lot that's being revealed that they did not know, or that they may have had an inkling of or seen the smoke but not the fire. But so now there's fire here. The Page of Swords.
It's fireplace.
The Page of Swords came reversed. So there is something there that is, like I said, it's being revealed to him. So yes. And then the 5 of Swords, the Jack Smith card. Lord in heaven. Okay. Follow up. If Donald Trump is pressed Will he rat anybody out? Or not necessarily. I'm not coming from the position of saving himself. Will he rat anybody out when he
throw anybody under the bus?
Yes.
I'm telling you, he'd throw his own kids under the bus if it saved his own butt.
Mister, I want you to be loyal to me, but so will he?
His kids, his grandkids. He'd make a human life raft of you jumping off Titanic to save his own ass. I just feel like, does he think he's immortal? Like, showing himself as superheroes in the NFTs. Does he just think he's going to live forever and never face death?
He thinks he's a tough guy. That's why he liked Chris Christie. He thought he was a tough guy, but he's just a little too fat to be in his administration. Like John Bolton or Felicia Bolton, as he's known on this channel. He liked him, but he didn't like his mustache. Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, if he's in defense mode and trapped, he would whistle blow because he's so erratic. He would give up tangible proof on something like Republicans. He would lie about other people also. Betrayal in his speech on other people that he worked with, absolutely.
I had the 9 of Wands and the High Priestess. Yes, if pressured, secrets will fly. That'll be the first thing there. The 10 of Wands and the Star. Yes, if pressured, secrets will fly. The 8 of Wands is how it ends. Yes, talk. That's what he would do. And mind you, I don't get an indication of slip of the tongue. So this is not just him running off at the mouth as he does. The Hangman, self-sacrifice. I think this is possibly some self-preservation. So, yes, he would. Loyalty. Loyalty first. So can we look at the relationship, since loyalty is very important to him? And we talked about last night a possibility of a third party. Can we look at the relationship between him and the RNC for 2023? Since loyalty matters.
I'm still cracking up at Adrian's question about the Trump Bible. I'm like, yeah, I can see him planning to take the oath on a Trump Bible. Everything's written in it upside down.
In the beginning was the word, and they were beautiful words. They were the best words. I have the best words. It's like, this is not about you.
You have built this bigly huge ark. Wait, what was our question?
It was a beautiful ark.
I built it. It wasn't.
There was no animals on it because he didn't like animals. But
what was our question?
There's a cocaine dealer and a prostitute on there, though. The RNC and Donald Trump's relationship for 2023.
He's God. DJing on Noah's Ark with this prostitutes and porn stars.
Oh, Lord. Oh, you know what we ought to do one day? We need to get Stormy Daniels to come read with us. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
She does have oracle cards. That's what we need. We can do oracle readings.
Oh, there's a little song and dance going on. Little imbalance.
I'll teach Michael Cohen how to read tarot. He can come read with us too.
They're done with him. You know, they're just done with him and his whole family and all the corruption and everything. It's like they're looking at him differently now. And they're like looking for new money and new connections and a new person to put forward. And they're hanging together on that. So they've moved on. They're like trying to figure out how to block him from running. He's staying.
7 of Wands, 9 of Swords. There is they're afraid that he will continue his sort of rise, or that they cannot defeat him. Because I also have 5 of Swords in the word of warning, so they're afraid that they can't defeat him. They don't want him there anymore because they do realize that he is a pox upon the party. The 10 of Wands and the Knight of Cups, his image is their burden. Because he himself has no substance. He didn't do anything. He's just a Sharpie. But his image means everything to that fan base, I'll call them. The Ace of Swords and the Chariot, but I do believe they will have some sort of victory over separating themselves from him. The 4 of Pentacles, High Priestess. It's not going to be done blatantly, but they are going to move on eventually. They are stuck with him, though. You're stuck with that stench because, again, that mentality is still there, whether he is or not.
Yeah. The ability to lie like Trump is still there. The lack of ethics is still there.
So, crystal ball moment. Will Joe Biden run in 2024?
Initially, yes. Working with Kamala, I get an initial yes, and openly, like, what do you call that? Speaking, campaigning, openly campaigning. But I get he may get a health problem, and it'll end up being like Kamala with someone else. He may have like a hospitalization or something like that.
Yeah, my internet went out.
I was going to say, was that you or me that froze up?
No, that was me. Because my little Wi-Fi thing started jumping up and down.
Gotcha.
As of right now, I get no. With the Wheel of Fortune and the 10 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. So as of right now, I get no. So that leads into...
I don't get him dying. I get he has a health issue or something and decides to step down.
Because he's, I mean, mind you, he's not in the tip-top presidential shape in the first place. He's just the person who was destined to save the day right now, because I think that was one of them written in the stars type thing. But Yeah, Mercury. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. But Mercury retrograde is a son of a bee.
Considering how small a margin of majority we have, he's gotten a lot accomplished.
Yes. So what I want to know is, what is the political future for Kamala Harris then? Since she has been tasked with a lot more than vice presidents usually are. It's like, she's been groomed in a way to take that position. I took the photo in the background. Because I wish he would boast about his accomplishments like I wished Obama would have it as well. Every week say, this is our status report, this is what we've done, this is where we are. I was listening to someone, I forget who, but Stacey Abrams. I watched an interview with her, and she said that those in the opposition will tell a lie 1,000 times till it sounds like the truth, and then we will say the truth one time, and then that's it.
Yeah,
it's like, so keep repeating these things. Like, what did you accomplish? This, and this in 2 years.
There's a strong bond with her and Biden. I'm getting. She's taking a lot of wisdom in right now, although it makes her anxious, all the corruption that has come out. But I get America and giving birth, to that feminine energy. She's got the tools to do the job, and I get her fortunes change in a very positive way, that she may become the choice and grow. And I think that she would end up being president, strengthen the power.
I got the Fool and the Five.
A male running mate.
I got the Fool and the Five of Pentacles. There's some sort of there's a push to right out the gate against her. On her same side. So there's some sort of push against her here. The Knight of Wands and the Ace of Wands, though, she has a tremendous amount of power. Like, I would dare say, nothing is impossible, but I would dare say that she's not, they're going to put her in a position where she's not possible to beat. And so right now she has a tremendous amount of power. It's not insurmountable, but it's very difficult to get over. She's got a lot of security within the government, especially from the Democratic side. The DNC will be 1,000% behind her. So there's that. The only problem here that I see for like the political future is foreign relations. Speaking to possibly the Kim Jong-uns and Vladimir Putins of the world. They don't respect us as it is, and then you're a woman on top of that. So that part I would say would be the one trip up for her. And mind you, she's already talking to foreign leaders as it is.
Yeah.
So like
I think she'd be one of those presidents though that would be to like Putin or a Kim Jong-un F around and find out.
Yes. She is not, she ain't no, she's not a little girl.
She's not a pushover. He's not a pushover.
Again, the Knight of Wands takes control of a situation that's out of hand. So she is not, I have no trepidation on sending her in a room full of those kind of people. And then Ace of Pentacles, her opportunity is there, is how it ends. So if she wants it, I think it's hers, but we shall see.
It's going to need a good running mate.
So can we do a? Oh wait, let's. We got one more to do. Donald Trump threw a New Year's party, and nobody came. Well, the press didn't come.
Pace went. Pace was the only child that showed up. That kid is so desperate for daddy's attention.
So what I want to say is, because I'm pretty sure he's miserable company right now. Everybody just seen he's not really rich, and he loaned his children money and all. Like, how does right now? Try not to be petty, but
they probably serve shrimp on the toast without the shrimp.
right now, I'm sure he's miserable company. But how did his party go? Since nobody was there to report it, can we see what happened? Is there ketchup everywhere? Oh Lord. There's a song that I absolutely love, and it's called 100 Bad Days. And the theme of the song is 100 bad days makes 100 good stories. 100 good stories makes me interesting at parties. And so it starts with saying that he put on a show and nobody showed. And it's like, that could make a good party song or party story one day. So was he DJing to an empty room, and him and one of the waiters is playing YMCA? Oh Lord. If he was one of the Village People, what would he be, I wonder? The tycoon in a business suit wasn't one of them.
He just ran a loop all day in his head about how burdened he is by, the Justice Department attacking him, coming after him. So he whined and hemmed and hawed, and might have done a little shuffle, a little dancing, but anything to get attention. He blocked anything from his kids. He's going off in a rage. I get Melania had a real good time with somebody else.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but
she had a real good time with somebody else. He was like on a power trip all day and drinking. I know everybody says he doesn't drink. I always get he drinks.
The High Priestess and the Five of Swords. It was defeated, and it was. I don't think he wanted anybody there either, because there was something sullen about the whole situation. He didn't want anybody else to see. The Seven of Swords and the Ace of Wands. He invited some people, and they did not show. So that part, because the Four of Pentacles and the Word of Warning, you were going to be by yourself because people are starting to. You don't have any friends. I mean, I'm not trying to say that to be mean, but a thing is a thing. Call a thing a thing. You don't have any friends. You have people who wanted you, not needed, wanted you for something, and now that they got it, they don't want you no more.
Or fear you for something else because you got dirt on them or something.
And now you're weaker than you've ever been. And so what do they need you for now? You don't have the presidential pen anymore. I mean, you stole stationery. That's about it. And then all of the classified documents.
Lots of Adderall.
But there was a closet somewhere in the world that held your wife and some King of Wands. So maybe a broom closet. I don't know. But there you go. Not to be mean or anything. I'm just saying it is what it is. Happy New Year, Donald. Happy New Year. So thank y'all for joining us today. Where's my thing?
As always.
Next week we will be on your channel next week.
My
Next week
channel.
will be on James' channel. Same bat time, same bat channel. Happy New Year once again to everybody. Thank you for coming out to the charity stream yesterday. We raised $2,300 for St. Jude's, so thank you very much. And we will see y'all next week. Oh, don't forget, Sacred Sounds of Coffee is on Jody Roberts' channel tomorrow, but it will be Jody, Adrian, and Veronica. Okay. Good night.